Hey guys, we're back with the Blade XTR. We're out here at Motorsport Ranch. This is where we're located now. We've done a lot to the car since our last video. Basically, since the last time we did the video, Motorsport Ranch had a 10-year anniversary event, and we decided to put in a lot of overtime on the car to try to get this car as far as long as possible so that we could kind of open the garage doors and get an idea, let people come through to get an idea what we're doing and see what their comments and feedback was on the car. And out of about 50 people that came through, all the comments were pretty good. There were about 500 people out here, and it seemed like everybody knew about the car. And we just didn't catch everybody coming through because we were out too busy looking at the cars ourselves and going around the racetrack and stuff like that. So, me, Eric, Amit, and Eli have all been out here working on the car every day for the past 2, 3, 4 weeks or so, really knocking out a lot of the hard work on the car. So, basically, we're pretty much done with the fiberglassing. There's probably a few areas that we'll hit and adjust and whatever, later on, but basically we're at the stage of applying the surface to body filler on top of the surface and tweaking all of the lines and details to the car now. So that's why it's mostly white, has a few spots where you can kind of see the fiberglass coming through. Basically these are kind of high-low type areas, and eventually it'll probably be all one color, and we'll end up painting it soon down the road. So, as you can see, we really have, let's go up here to the vents. We've worked on the front little snorkel vents up on the hood, and they have a lip to them and an edge to help suck the air out of the radiator and engine compartment. So that's in the works, and a little bit of tweaking to do on that. The front end, air splitter or whatever you want to call this in the middle has been tweaked on a little bit, and it's a lot cleaner, and the lines are really coming out now. So we've been putting a lot of work into that area. We have makeshift tires in place. Obviously there's no wheels. We won't really get the wheels until we start putting the chassis and the suspension together, so we know what the proper offset is. Also, an area that you may notice in the video is kind of ugly is the lip around the wheel. We're going to tweak that last because that's going to depend a lot on the size tire and wheel that we use, and we may need to open that up or close it up a little bit depending on what size tires that we do go with. Let's see, in the back it's fully fiberglass now, along with the body filler and the paint. We have like this splatter paint on the car, and this helps us when sanding. Basically, to give you an idea, where my hand is where it's real bright white. This is an area that's high, and where the paint is at, this is an area that's low. And so when you can still see that paint and you can feel it with your hand, that's telling us this area is low on the car and that this area is high. So we'll either fill in this black area with more filler, or we'll sand the high spots down to this level. It just depends on what the shape of the car is supposed to be at this area, and basically how the other side goes at the same time. So a lot of variables that go into the body work. It's a lot harder than it looks, and it's a big pain in the butt. So there you go. And let's see, we have the back. There's the tail lights in, and you can really start to get an idea what's coming together with the tail lights. You can get an idea where the rear diffuser's at. Now the tires are supposed to be a little higher up into the fender wells. We just have them resting on foam blocks right now. So, but basically this gives you an idea where the rear diffuser is going to go. And if you notice anything different with the back, it's because we have taken out the rear tail lights. Or not the rear tail lights, but the rear backup lights. Basically, the rear backup lights, which are right here, are not round exactly. So when we got them into the car, it didn't really look right to us. So we were like, well, let's scrap this idea and move on to a different deal. So, so basically we have some new tail lights, or new backup lights coming. Get that word right. And we're going to put the rear backup lights here, and maybe around in this area. We're not really sure, but it's hard to explain when I'm just pointing to a blank area. But once we get them in, you'll understand. So we still have a lot of work to do in the back. It's probably hard to see because I just had a light go out just while I was on this video, or doing this video. So it's a little darker back here now. And you can kind of get an idea of the way everything is shaping together. Here's the inside. Obviously we're going to take out this dash probably next week or something. The space behind the seat, we're going to have a roll bar back here that you see. There's some tape that we have I need to yank off. But kind of get an idea how the doors are starting to fit together. The lines are real nice and clean, and everything opens up pretty good. And that's good because that's going to make it easier for the mold shop to produce molds off of that. So as much working stuff we can have, the better. Other than that, you know, we've really just been working away like non-stop, just getting this going as fast as possible so that we get to the mold stage. We're getting there. We're still at a rough stage at the moment, where we're using the body fillers and fiberglass to build up areas that need to be built up, or tweaking some designs that we're changing at the last minute or whatever. So there's still many hours of that before we go on to the final finishing of the car's surface, and then we'll apply paint and base coats and stuff like that onto the car, and it'll start to really look like a real car. And then that's when all the real excitement starts happening, when we take it to the mold shop. So so there it is, gives you an idea. One thing that we kind of did is this line that's going down the fender that we still need to tweak a little. We have it basically running down the car, and let's see, it comes down and then it runs to the door, and it follows. I've got to pull my camera back, but it follows back to the door and then up over the fender and back down. So so it really has a nice line to the car. I don't know if you can really see it. Then also, while we're at the event, the 10-year event for Motor Wrench, we noticed that on the Audi R8s they had a pretty cool spoiler system on their car that wasn't too crazy looking, or you know, over exaggerated like you see on race cars, or it didn't have that you know, Euro tuner car look. So basically we kind of like that idea, and I think we're going to adapt something like that. It was kind of a minimal spoiler setup that was had linear actuators that raised and lowered it. It's all made of carbon fiber, and it's pretty slick, and we really liked it. So we may adapt that type of spoiler to this setup here later on. So there you go, and that's the car for now. We'll give you another update soon. It's really hot, and we're all dying here. So so anyway, I'll catch you guys next week or so on the next video, and give you another update how things are going. See you later. Bye.